Hi there again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Claire. Why not hit the subscribe button if you like my videos on my channel? We're all about the makeup here and some true crime stories and just anything goes really, anything goes. Why the hell not? So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and you'll be notified every single time I upload. So today I thought I would dive into what's in my new in drawer because it is getting a little bit full. So I just thought I'd use some of the products up in there because I have gone on a little bit of a shopping spree recently, which I don't usually do. But yeah, I've done it, and these necessarily aren't new out products, but they're new into me in my new in drawer. So I just thought I'd try them all. I've pretty much got a full face. So we're just going to dive right into it because, you know, why the hell not? So first things first, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm going to go in with this Makeup Obsession with hemp seed oil, and it's like a brow kind of fixer, and that is that there. So I think I got this in, if you checked out my recent drugstore Makeup Revolution haul. So this is just like a clear gel, and that is what it is, literally just a brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a spooler. I'm going to brush my brows up and up and up, and I'm just going to go through with this gel. Doesn't smell bad, which is always good. We don't want anything smelling like crap. We just don't want that really, do we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with the spooler. I think I would prefer this to be like a spooler on the end rather than a brush, but we'll see. We'll see what it does. It's quite cooling, it feels quite cooling. Okay, so I do feel like that's kind of brushing the brows up nicely. Whether it'll keep them in place or not is a different matter, but it's not too bad. We're just gonna have to see how we go with it. So I'm just gonna open my drawer here. So, brow pencil. I've picked up the Primark PS brow pencil. Now, I've already got one of these open, so it's not exactly new in. So I'm not going to open this one yet, I'm just going to use this one. But I love these, and they're like £1. The only thing is sometimes when you're sharpening them, you do lose quite a lot of pencil. But they're like super soft, super nice. You get like a spoolie on one end, and obviously the pencil on the other, and there's a pencil sharpener in the lid. It's not much cost, but it's there if you need it in an emergency. So I'm just going to start at the bottom of my brow and just gently carve out the shape very lightly, because this is a dark colour. I do like a dark brow. I feel like I say this in every video, but even though I'm blonde, I do like my brows to be quite dark. Just bring the tail down there and then just fill it in. I feel like my brows need laminating again already. Okay, and I'm just going to take the spooler and I'm just going to brush through. I've got a little bit low down there. Let's get a Q-tip and sort that out. Get the spooler and just brush it through. I feel like I'm getting a spot on my cheek there. It looks like, it feels like this really like hormonal like cheek spot coming through. Do you know what I mean when I say hormonal spot? So my eyebrows look super weird right now, but it is a process, and I do promise that, well, I don't promise, it might look crap when I've done, but I'm gonna sort it out. I'm really gonna sort it out. So I have got a couple of concealers, and I would go with my P. Louise base, but I want to try these concealers out and see how they come off as bases. I've got the Collection Lasting Perfection Blemish Concealer, and I've got the Juvia's Place Concealer. This is called the I Am Magic Concealer, but I think I'm going to use this because I'm going to use the Lasting Perfection foundation as well. So I think I'm going to put that back in my new in drawer and use that another time. I'm going to get this concealer open. I'm going to take my P. Louise 70, I think that's a 7064 brush. My eyes are atrocious. They're so bad these days. Okay, so that's quite a thick consistency. I do quite like the way that the spoolie is. The wand is like a little bit bent, so I feel like if you were putting that directly under your eyes, it would like morph to the shape of your eye. And the consistency is relatively thick, but I wouldn't say too thick, so let's just carve these out and see how it does. So that does feel quite smooth. I feel like I've gone quite far down with the tail on my brow there, which I don't want, so I'm going to see if that can like clean that up for me, which it has done. It's done beautifully. And I'm going to do a little bit over the top where the brush strokes can be seen slightly. Don't worry, I am going to buff it all in. Okay, that seems quite nice and smooth. Like I say, quite a thick consistency. It's drying on the back of my hand very, very quickly. And let's get this other eye done, see if this is a smoother process. Okay, so I have this in the shade Extra Fair, and I do think it is being quite true to colour. So I've got Extra Fair because maybe I want to use it as a highlighter sometimes. But yeah, I feel like it's quite a decent match to highlight and conceal. It is drying very, very quickly though, so I think when you're buffing it into the skin, you're going to have to move quite quickly with it because it is drying super fast. This does say it will last 16 hours as well, so it's what we all want in our lives. Okay, so I'm just going to take a bit of a fluffy brush and just buff all of that in. It's buffing quite well considering it dries down very quickly, she said, as the other eyebrow didn't do the same. Okay, it's quite sticky. We're just you know, we're not going to judge it as an eye base because it's not an eye base, it's a concealer. We're going to judge it as a concealer. Okay, so I have got a couple of eyeshadow palettes, but I bought this Black Jack 21 palette from Nude Cosmetics. I showed this in my recent haul as well, the other week from TK Maxx, but I'm edging towards this like Cookies and Cream Elf, Cookies and Dreams Elf eyeshadow palette because I'm just fancying blue right now, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, you have to peel this thing open. Okay, so this is the palette right here. I'm just loving these blues and whatnot. I don't know what I'm going to create. I've literally just opened it. This is vegan and cruelty free, so we're just going to go with the flow on it really, aren't we? I feel. There are 4 mattes and 4 like shimmers. So this looks like a nice transition. Maybe this on the lid or the inner corner. I don't know. I just don't know yet. We're just gonna roll with it. Okay, I wouldn't usually do this, but I feel like I want to start with the transition colour today, so I'm going to go in with this brown here. Usually I'd start with like a crease colour and then blend the transition into it, but I feel like I just want to go with the transition today, so I'm just going to very, very lightly blend that through and up to my brow. Not quite hitting my brow though, I don't think. That is a nice transition colour. I think this has been out a few months. It's not like an old release from e.l.f. It is a relatively new release. There's not a lot of kickback on the eyeshadow. It's sticking to the concealer base quite well. I've taken this on a Zoeva 228 Luxe crease brush, and let's say it's blending really nicely once you kind of got that colour down. It's doing its job. I'm not sure how much I paid for this. I did buy it from Superdrug, I know that, and I definitely bought it when there was a 3 for 2 on offer because that is my MO. I love a bargain. I love a bargain. So I don't know what I want to do. I really want to use this colour, potentially like on half the lid, and maybe this on the outer portion, this like shimmer black, or this brown. Oh, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this brown on the outer portion of the eye, and then maybe go in with this and like transition it into this. We're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it and see what happens. So I'm going to take my P. Louise, and this is the number 112 brush, and I'm just going to go into that brown. Not a lot of kickback again, and I'm just going to press that onto the outer portion and just slightly up into that transition. Definitely not a lot of fallout. And I'm just going to sweep that under the eye, just the outer corner. Okay, so we're all looking very weird still. So I'm going to take the brush that I used for the transition colour and I'm just going to use that to kind of blow and diffuse that upwards slightly. Just that brown colour. Even go with a little bit more product on that brush as well. That is blending quite nicely up and outwards. It's giving me that nice lifted look that I'm always trying to obtain. I'm just going to take a little bit more of that product, that darker brown, and just use the original brush just to add a little bit more definition to that outer portion of the eye. Just using very, very light strokes here, very light. Okay, so there's very little fallout on that. If anyone's watched any of my previous videos, you know that literally I can have eyeshadow all over my face. But on those two colours there's been very, very little fallout, which, you know, loving. So I'm going to go in the flat brush first. And I'm going to go in with this deep blue here. I feel like it's almost kind of verging on like a blue purple. I'm loving that. So I'm going to go in with a flat brush. Okay, that's not picking up a lot of product at all. Just kind of go on the outer portion of the eye again. That's gone on so well. I'm going to bring that to about here. Oh wow. I mean, I've not had to use my finger with that. Look. Elf cookies and dreams. Cookies and dreams. Okay, so loving that. And what I think I may do is go in with the darker shade again and just bring that up ever so slightly, like, and round that crease, just to define those colours and separate them, and just blend that into there as well. I mean, I've done this all kind of the wrong way around as well, but you know, it whatever works for you, whatever works for you. So I think I'm going to go in with now this blue here, and that is another shimmer, and I'm probably going to cover most of the rest of the lid in that, and hopefully this will work on a flat brush just as well as the other product worked. Again, having to dig in to the product to get any payoff, but kind of worth it. Definitely kind of worth it. So I'm just going to move that. Ooh, that's made like a lovely purple as it's gone over that other colour. Like that. Okay, so I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is just a French Connection brush I probably got in a gift set, and just do those eyebrows in this with this whitish colour here. It's not quite white, but it's almost white. Just highlight those brows slightly, and then I'm going to take this fluffy brush and just a tiny bit of that white on it and a tiny bit of transition, and just blend that darker shade. And I think I'm just going to top up the darker shade on the outer portion of the eye slightly as well, just so it's not lost. Just make sure it blends into the outer portion seamlessly as well. Kind of love that, kind of love that. Okay, so for my lower lashes on my under eye, I've got a little bit of fallout now, but nothing that I'm totally mad about it. Okay, love that. So I'm going to go back in with the darker sparkly, the darker shimmer blue, and I'm just going to run that along the lashes there. like right on that lash line. Love it. I feel like you're dead far away. Should bring you in slightly. Is that better? Okay, I'm going to take the lighter shimmer blue and I'm just going to like really pack that onto the inner corner. Okay, kind of loving that, kind of loving that. I am going to swatch this blue here as well. I mean, these are like super creamy. Focus. They feel really nice. I mean, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, kind of loving this, really kind of loving it. I think it was like £5, like I said, I'm not entirely sure on the price. I will bob it down below. I'll list everything that I can, or I can remember, or I can find. But yeah, kind of loving that. Cookies and dreams, cookies and dreams. So I did pick up in Primark like a very light peach tone Creole liner. So I'm just gonna bob that in my waterline. Okay, so that is the colour right there. And I'm just gonna bob that through the waterline. Oh, that feels lovely. That feels really nice. I mean, it's not really doing much, but it feels nice. Okay, so that I've had to go to town with that, but for £1, it's alright. I'll try different colours, but I probably won't get this one again once it's run out. One thing I haven't got is a mascara, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do some mascara and some lashes, and I'm going to come back and we're going to do some primer and the foundation. Okay, so I'm back. I just went for like a half lash today and I just used some MUA lashes. I think it's like £10 for 3 pairs from Beauty Bay. But yeah, I just felt like a half lash and I do think it looks quite nice. I'm kind of loving this look right now. It's like a smoky blue. Yeah, it's feeling it, definitely feeling it. So, primer. So I have the Revolution Glow Beam Dream Face and Body Illuminator or the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I think I'm going to go with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer because apparently it is a dupe for the Milk Cosmetic, Milk Makeup even primer, which I haven't got, but I'm going to use this anyway. Okay, so this is the primer right here, and it is like a green colour. It is water-based, I think. Yes, water-based. I'm just going to pump some on the back of my hand. Doesn't really smell of anything. Oh, it is definitely like a sticky consistency. I'm just going to bob that on. It's definitely sticker, but it's kind of melting into the skin really nicely. I think it's making it look a bit red though. What do you think? I think I like where I've rubbed it down here. Maybe it's because I'm rubbing my face. It's definitely sticky though. It's like my hands feel sticky now. Maybe better off putting it on with a brush so you don't get sticky hands. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the concealer first. Bit there, 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 and there. I'm going to put a bit there. I'm going to put some on that spot that's coming up. I'm going to do a little bit of a smile. Down the nose a little bit and on the forehead. I'm going to take this fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend all of that in. I had my booster vaccine today and my arm is killing me, so every time I reach for something I'm like, ah. I don't usually hurt. It didn't hurt on the first ones, but for some reason it is now hurting. Okay, so that concealer's really gripping to that primer. Like super gripper. Bounce that up into there. I mean it's highlighting, it's definitely highlighting me. Might have to use a different brush here. I think I'm going to go and wet a beauty blender because that is just not working with a brush. I'm going to wet this new beauty blender. Okay, so I'm just going to bounce that in. And that's slightly better. I'm not sure if it feels like it's taking some of the product off that. It's taking the product off. Okay, so I'm not feeling this concealer with this primer at all. That doesn't work. Has it taken the product off? Has it been on too long? Let's start again. I mean, I don't think I moved quick enough, because I did say when I was using it as a eyeshadow base that it does set quite quickly, so you do have to move quite quickly with it. And I think that's kind of what's happened when I've gone off to wet my beauty blender. It's just kind of like set on the face, because that is much better. Now I'll put a fresh bit on. A fresh bit of concealer. Okay, let's get right up in the corners there as well. Okay, that's much better. It doesn't work well with a brush. Maybe it's the primer, but much better with a sponge. Okay, so I got the Lasting Perfection Matte Foundation SPF 30 6-in-1. So this primes, so I didn't need a primer. Conceals, covers, smooths, protects and mattifies. It's water resistant, transfer proof, full coverage. Shake well before use. So that is the bottle right there. Sorry, it's just not focusing if I come closer. But you get the gist. So I'm just going to use, so that's just a couple of pumps there. They don't come out that well. And I'm going to, well, I've got the beauty blender. I'm going to go in with the beauty blender. And okay, that is the smallest amount, and it's giving me an okay coverage. I wouldn't say it was full. Probably build it up. Probably help if I could get a bit out of the bottle. I think this is meant to be a dupe for like the Charlotte Tilbury or something like that. I did Google it, but I can't figure it out. But if I can figure it out before I post the video, I will let you know in the comments down below. Okay, so it's blending quite nicely. It is, I wouldn't say it was completely full coverage, but however it is a fairly decent coverage. It is quite matte, so you know, if you're quite oily, it probably is going to be okay for you. I think it's quite true to, ooh, have I got blue eyeshadow on my neck? It's quite true to colour. It is fair. Probably should have gone a shade darker with summer coming up. But you never know when things are going to oxidise, do you? No, not bad at all. Okay, so I'm going to warm the face up now, and I've got the Be Perfect Shape Stick Bronze and Define, which I got from Boots, so that is drugstore, and I've got the Revolution Makeup Revolution Cover and Conceal Ultra Cover and Conceal palette in light medium. Now I do want to use both, but I've been wanting to try this for absolutely donkeys, so this is what I'm going to do, and I got the shade Caramel in this. Just need to get it open. I mean, who knew that Be Perfect was now available in Boots stores, not just online? Amazing. Okay, so I just love the packaging on this. How amazing. And let me just, like a little triangle. Okay, so I have seen the trick where you kind of like put it on your hand and pick them up, but today I'm going to go just for it. Oh, that feels nice. I feel like you don't need a lot of pressure because you will break it. Put some on my forehead. Gone really far into my hairline there, which I really didn't mean to do, and I'm going to do a bit on my nose. I'm going to take my PC18 brush and I'm just going to buff that in. See how that goes on top of that foundation. It did feel super creamy. It's not got like any bad smell. That is quite a decent colour on my jawline. Let's have a look. That is quite nice of a colour for me. I'm just patting that in. I may go in with the beauty blender that I've got and just, but it's gone very nicely with the brush, hasn't it? That's worked in super well with that brush. Let's get the forehead patted in. This is just going to mess my hair right up now. Not that it was like some elaborate hairstyle anyway. I'm just going to use a little bit of excess in the bottom of my lip there as well. Yeah, kind of loving that. Really like that product. That's super nice. I think it was £12.50, which is, you know, it's okay for bronzer really, isn't it? but I've just seen like super good reviews about it, so you know, that I'd give that a go. Okay, and I haven't got a cream blusher, so I'm going to go in with my highlighter first, and I'm going to go in with this Makeup Obsession Illuminating Stick. It was part of the Angel Veil collection. It just says apply to cheekbones, eyes or body for a shimmering glow. And this is the product right here. Can't really see it on the camera because it's so light. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this on my finger. It's like a big stick. So it's on my finger, and it's a very like light colour. So, oh god, I didn't expect that to, I mean, it just looks like, yeah, that is really nice. Really didn't expect that to look like that. A bit more on my cheekbones. What I didn't want to do is I didn't want to go in with like a cream blush, sorry, a powder blush, and then do another cream product, and it just like kind of take the product back off. But no, I like that. I'm gonna just pat one on each inner corner as well. That is like super shimmery. Ooh, that was not what I expected. I expected it to be a bit yeah, but no, it's to get thumbs up. Okay, so I'm just going to set my face a little bit before I put my blusher on. I'm going to use this Superdrug B makeup setting powder. Now, I got this for £1.99 in the sale, because again, who doesn't love a bargain? I don't know whether like relaunching this range or just getting rid of it, or what, but I just thought I'd give it a go. I have had a concealer from this range before, which I didn't really like, but you know, you've got to give some stuff another go sometimes, haven't you? Can't get the bleeding thing open. Because it's wrapped and then it's got a security tag on it as well. I hate it when they do that. Okay, so I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics large powder brush. There's a lot of fallout with that, and this is meant to be, it just says makeup setting powder. I'm assuming it's meant to be translucent. Let's have a, okay, leaving a bit of a white cast. I'm not going to set my under eyes with that because I feel like it would crease. It's okay. I'm glad I only paid £1.99 for it. I keep giving the brand a go and then not liking it still. Okay, so to set my under eyes, I haven't got a drugstore setting powder for under eyes, so I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me and just give that a little rub and just pat that under all the eyes. I will brush off the excess. I feel like I'd have been better going in with this rather than that other setting powder. I'm not keen on that. Okay, so I'm just going to use a lighter brush and just wipe that excess away. I don't feel like I've lost my highlighter there either, which is good. Like that. I feel like that powder's made me look super pale. Okay, so because that has made me look super pale, I'm going to go in with Maybelline Fit Me loose powder and just kind of try and add a little bit of colour back to my face. This is in the shade Fair, which should go with the foundation. I do feel like that has just made me look a little bit washed out. That's a shame. That's a shame. That foundation does, like, it's taking any product that I'm throwing on top of it. Why isn't the lid going back on? Any products I'm throwing on top of it. Okay, so my blusher, I'm going to go in with a Malini Baked Powder Blush, and I got this from Boots a couple of weeks ago, and I got the shade Dolce Pink. Dolce Pink. Dolce. God? What's wrong with me? Anyway, pink. And that is the colour right there. And it has got a little shimmer to it, but I'm not mad about it. And that is quite powdery. And I'm just gonna pat that into the cheeks and up and round. That is quite a pigmented blush, and because I did my highlighter first, it is like really highlighting the blusher. I'm going to bring that up and round. I'm going to put a bit on my nose. I love that. I'll definitely be buying some more of these. I think they're a little bit pricey at £11.50 each, but But if you really like them, then go for it. I'm going to bring that up and round the temples slightly again as well. Not mad at that, liking that. I do like that. That was quite powdery, but it was still quite pigmented. I did like that. And let's say it's kind of like blended into that highlighter as well, which I kind of like. Okay, so I haven't got a lipstick or a liquid lip, but I have this lip liner in Desert Sand from Primark, the PS collection, PS, they're all PS, I don't know why I keep saying PS collection, they're all PS. And I'm just going to use that. Okay, so I can't get all the packaging off, but I've got the lid off, and that is the pencil right there. And I'm just gonna, I don't think I've had a lip pencil from Primark before. It's quite creamy. It's applying nicely. It's a quid. I mean, that's quite nice. It's like an all over lip colour. But I think I'm just going to add a bit of a light colour in the middle. I'm just going to take this Essence lipstick and just bob a little bit on there. There we go, I think that looks really nice. And I don't have a new setting spray, but I've got this Rimmel Lasting Fix and Go spray, which I love. And there we go, that is the finished look. I kind of love it. Yeah, I've liked most of the products. I'm not keen on the concealer. I will try it with a different primer. I don't think they work well together. Quite enjoyed the primer. Loved the bronzing stick, hated the powder. Most of the products I used were quite nice. They're all drugstore products, all from Boots or Superdrug, so they're all relatively affordable. The Malini blusher, slightly on the expensive side at £11.50 for one single blusher, but it's super pigmented, and I have had baked blushes before which last so long. So it's probably going to still be here in 3 years' time, being shown on camera and me saying, I still love this blusher. And probably shouldn't be using it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I love it when I get new subscribers. It absolutely makes my day. And I hope to see you in the next video, guys. Bye.